subscribe, hit the super chat on your way in. This one, I'm probably gonna make a part two later on tonight. I actually really want to make a part two because this one is just gonna be a bit of a ramble. I so regret not being part of Gigi, Dr. Green Gorilla's panel on the family. The first video he did, I think last week. I'm listening to it now. I am about 70% through it, and oh man, I am so mad with myself that I wasn't part of that panel and that I didn't listen to it live. And I'm catching it a bit late, a week or so after the fact, maybe even 2 weeks. I'm not sure. Yeah, geez, man, that was great. First, let me say this. Mr. Z is going to be a bit arrogant on this one. Do I feel vindicated? Shout out to Dr. Green Gorilla. Capitalism, unchecked capitalism, and feminism. So on the right, you're getting unchecked capitalism, laissez-faire capitalism, free market capitalism, or liberalism, as they say. We only call it neoliberalism because the way we speak about left-right political paradigm. That's why in America we say neoliberal. Yeah, and then on the left, feminism. And these two things over the past, well, Gigi says 70 years. I usually say 40 to 50 years, but okay, let's say 70 years have well, neoliberalism really is, you started in the late 70s with that. So, both of those hitting you have really screwed the black family in particular, right? The black family in particular has gotten screwed by neoliberalism and feminism, right? Or capitalism and feminism. Specifically, this kind of post-1980s brand of capitalism and feminism, right? The second wave feminism, especially coming through the 80s and the 90s, that shredded the black family. Now, the money part. Oh, see, and this is why when I say y'all could try to hit these women with all type of religion, respectability, the way things should be, they not hearing you. They're not hearing you. The money. And it's systemic. It's not individual. There's so many brothers, especially on the conservative side of the spectrum. You think they nuclear family and this is the way it's been for millennia and men should lead and Bible. Quran, Torah. No, them women ain't hearing that. Especially with hyper-materialism over the past couple decades. Oh no, not even the past couple decades, past few decades. Oh, they're not hearing none of that. And the advocating for something you don't actually find attractive, you don't want. I can't tell y'all, listening to Gigi, I felt so vindicated. And I'm saying feel, because no one had to tell me this ever since a child, just being observant. You're just like, something ain't right. Right? Something ain't right. Something ain't right. Right? And as you get older, it's even more something's wrong about this. Something's not right. And the more you do research and the more, and you finally get it. And then you're scrolling through YouTube, you're listening to your favorite, content creators, and you realize, Dr. Green Gorilla is one of your favorite content creators. So ain't nothing to listen to Dr. Green Gorilla go through the article and go through the research and wait a minute, Z, that feeling you've been feeling since you were a kid, you're right. We all got played, including the women. The women got played the most. See, let's go back through it. For those of you that remember, about a year ago now, maybe a little bit longer, I put a video covering a portion of a documentary called Angry Women. I think it was created by the BBC. And it was feminists in Britain, radical feminists in Britain, speaking about the things they advocated for back in the 70s and 80s, their worldview, their political stance, their political lesbianism, all of that. And Dr. Green Gorilla himself has covered in America the Combahee River Collective and what they stood for. So you have, me speaking about and actually showing this is not just speculation. No, these are the women that were part of the angry women in the radical feminist movement of Britain, coming out of Leeds, Britain, I think it was, right? And then once again, you have Dr. Green Gorilla, and that was last year also, if I'm not mistaken, speaking about the Combahee River Collective, right? And he might even spoke about that the year before. And so what you find is political lesbian women, feminist women, radical feminist women, they knew that your average woman, train tracks, they understood the way people move, the way men move, the way women move, what women actually want, what women actually advocate for. And these women found a way to strip men of money because they knew, the women, we can't trust the women. The women are going to be attached to the men, especially if the men have resources. They actually don't hate men the way we do. They actually don't want to be lesbians the way we do. They actually ain't for some of this queer, non-binary stuff the way we are. We gotta find a way to move them, to move the Overton window of conversation, to move these women, strip the men of money, give the women money. Strip the men of education, give the women education. Dominoes. Dominoes. This is not conspiracy theory. They're saying it. BLM said it. Older feminists that don't care no more are saying it. The angry women said it in Britain. Combahee River Collective said it. So no, real talk with Yanni. This is not, oh, you men wanted integration. You black men wanted integration. This is what you get. Nah, they screwed all men. That's why I be telling y'all swirlers and divestors, y'all ain't gonna find much over there with the white dudes neither. Have fun. Mr. Z ain't pulling that out of his rear end when I say it. All men got screwed. Black men got screwed most. That's why, and it's interesting because I didn't watch this before I made my video earlier today. The video I created this morning, where I was speaking about theory versus practical. Now look, these people have a theory. These radical feminists have a theory about the way things should be. And in practice, it's ripping women apart. Not, okay, yeah, it's ripping men apart. They don't care about men, fine. It's ripping the same women they supposedly are advocating for apart. The Khadijas of the world and all that non-binary talk. Khadija, if you're, from my understanding, Khadija worked on her master's program and whatever, and she liked to spot off these feminists from back in the day and these philosophers from back in the day. Yeah, look at what they're saying. Look at what they're saying now. Not what they were saying back then. Now they're being honest. Some of them were being honest back then too. And your everyday woman is miserable and unhappy with her little $45,000, $50,000 a year, $35,000, $40,000 a year. Because she want a man, a heterosexual 10 toes down man. Khadija, she ain't on that queer stuff like you. Y'all got a bunch of theory, and in practice, the same women you claim to be advocating for are miserable. Because you don't care about the practice, you care about the theory and the way it should be. You gave these women, not Khadija, she's too young, but your ideology gave these women money and education, and they're more unhappy now than they were in the 70s and the 60s. Go figure. Right? They're more unhappy now than they were 50, 60 years ago. Which y'all talking about men being these kind of raving lunatics 70 years ago. These men that didn't express their emotions. So you mean to tell me our great grandmothers were happier with our great grandfathers that just grunted and were apes with money than our mothers and our sisters are now, with all of these emotionally intelligent non-binary men? Wow. I know y'all ain't gonna go listen to Green Gorilla stream. That was a fire stream. Like I said, I'm only about 70% through it. I'm gonna listen to the rest. I'm gonna put the link in the description later. I'm gonna edit everything up and put everything, you know, later. But yeah, look at that. Oh, I feel so vindicated. Where are you, FD? Feek, where are you? 20 you advocate for is ripping the women that we put through college, and we got all these middle management jobs with all these positions and told them they don't need no man, and they're miserable. Feek, you know that because you're married with kids. All that virtue signaling. You could call it what you want to call it. Guess what, Feek? You're in the nuclear family. You married with 2 boys. Now what? All that theory, we put it in practice, and the women hurting just as much as the men, if not more. All these feminists had issues with men. They hate men. Let's call a thing a thing. Oh, we don't hate men. We just want the empowerment of women. The women are hurting. Y'all still on the same thing. The women are hurting, and y'all still on the same thing. The women are saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to go get my education, but I want this type of man. Oh, look, I got my education and money now. That man's unattractive. I only want the top 20%. Oh, I can't get the top 20%. All right, now I'm mad at the world. The catch-22 of wanting this life, getting the life, and then being unhappy with the life. Wow. Wow. And y'all excuse my background. I'm on the road right now. My apologies. As Green Gorilla was reading through the article, he's speaking about Carlson said about, yeah, you know, capitalism unchecked. It might hurt the family. No, it did hurt the family, Mr. Swanson. That same capitalism you believe in, Mr. Swanson. So on the right, you got capitalism kicking you in the rear end, and on the left, you got radical feminism kicking you in the rear end. And the men and the women are hurting. Go figure. Because on the right, they got nothing but theory about how this is supposed. So you know what? We're gonna screw over working class, tell them about working hard, and try to get them to mitigate all the fallout of this extreme capitalism, this neoliberalism, this late stage capitalism with religion and morality. Yawn. We're going to try to get them to mitigate elite capture of politicians and the financialization of everything in our society, the commodification of everything in our society with religion and God talk and morality. How is that working? What's that divorce rate for religious folks in the South? Oops. Those white women in the Christian church ain't trying to hear that. All that talk, everybody got nothing but theory on the left and the right. And on the left, all they have is particularly in the black community, all this intersectional feminist talk that doesn't work. Theorizing about stuff that doesn't work. The little girls to the women are crying about not having heterosexual men, and all that intersectional talk sound nice. We put the bi-curious bisexual dude in their face. They're not interested. I know it's hard for y'all to believe because in those small circles y'all live in Atlanta, in LA, in New York, in Miami, it might be just a smidge different in them small circles y'all occupy. You step out of that bubble for 2 seconds and you realize your average woman ain't checking for them type of dudes. They're disgusted by them. Bisexual brothers are telling you now them sisters ain't interested. So the feminists, like I said this before, elite white men, geniusly, it's like the worst of the worst laying in bed with each other. Strange bedfellows, right? So the feminists are in bed with the hyper-capitalists and they screwing us 3 ways to Sunday. Because the right have their theory about economics and how things should work. And open competition on everything. By the way, that also screws the nuclear family, having the husband and the wife compete with each other because capitalism demands so, especially this form of neoliberalism. By the way, so like I said, the capitalists screwing us on the right, and then the feminists are screwing us on the left. And then they both blaming each other. The right talk about nuclear family. We could solve this with nuclear family. I'll marry her today. She'll divorce me tomorrow because I don't make enough. Spare me the talk. All you right-leaning capitalists. And then on the left, well, if you would just adopt intersectional feminism, she don't want that. She virtue signals about that. She don't want it. Well, if you would just let go of this hegemonic patriarchal notion of masculinity, then everything would be okay. All the men that have done it, no women. Oops. All this talk, right? All this talk, all this theory, all of what we believe, what we feel, what we theorize. I told, bro, when I watched that, for those of you that have not watched Ezra Klein versus Ben Shapiro, you need to watch it. That debate is about maybe 2 or 3 years old at this point. You need to watch Ezra Klein back Ben Shapiro into a wall, and him, and I'm gonna paraphrase, him essentially saying, yeah, I want to protect my position. I don't want these people to be taught the truth for real. I don't want them to feel like victims, even if they are. Using history as propaganda, which is oldest time, by the way. This is why they're so obsessed about what young black kids and young white kids are taught in school. Because they want to use history as propaganda. So for those of you on the right who think the left is the only one engaged in that, no, the right's engaged in that too. With all your victim mentality. Your victim mentality talk. No, victims are victims. I can understand why black people are saying that, but do y'all know why white people are saying that? The elite white, the Ben Shapiros and the Tucker Carlsons, why are they saying that? Y'all not saying it for the same reason. You think you in the same party, you're not in the same party. Or, maybe I said that wrong. Y'all in the same party. You think y'all have the same ideology. Y'all don't. They want you to be comfortable with your place. Think you're them, feel like you're them, think you could conquer the world like they do. Stop using history to explain stuff. Not make excuses, but to explain. That's on the right. On the left. Black women, y'all don't feel embarrassed yet? How them white feminists played y'all? No? Gloria Steinem being CIA? No? Okay, all right, cool. Real talk with Yanni over here blaming black men when white angry feminists and black angry feminists are the ones who started this. Oops. You see, y'all wanted to integrate. This is what come with it. Yeah, sound nice. See, Kevin Samuels, when he was talking to the black women and talking about black women the way he was, that's what made me I didn't feel emotionally safe with black men anymore. That's what made me want to open up my options. You mean to the same white men and Latino men that's getting screwed by the same white feminists and black feminists and Latina feminists too? Yeah. Y'all don't know what's going on. Y'all just don't. Shout out to Kim from Fort Harriet. This is your ideology. This is your ideology. Khadijah, this is your ideology. Oops. What happened? Your ideology is hurting the same women you claim to advocate for. That's why Juicy is trying to make them comfortable with leaning on other parts of their network and not putting everything in the how would I say this? In the romantic, heterosexual, intimate relationship realm. Right? Because Juicy probably opened up the Rosetta Stone and was like, oh crap. What happened? Nappy-headed hobo, what happened? Huh? T Noir, what happened? This is what y'all advocate for, right? Now the British feminists are saying, okay, we're tired of lying. Let's just say it. We tried to shred the nuclear family. BLM said it. Heteronormative this and that. We got to. All right. Put a microphone in straight black women's faces and they talk about what they want, and it's everything all the BLM and feminists and radical feminists are fighting against. Go figure. In other words, if we empower the women, they'll still want the men, but then they don't want the masses of men that they think they're better than. And we win by default. That's what the feminists did. Let's educate the women. Nothing wrong with that. Nobody's saying anything's wrong with that. But look at the fallout. I am not about putting women back in the kitchen. I'm not. Mr. Z has no quorum saying I'm not about making women go back to the kitchen, making them barefoot and pregnant. I'm not. I'm really not. But y'all gonna have to eat the consequences of what y'all believe. Whoops. That's why y'all keep on, men need to elevate. No, ain't no elevation. Oh no. The radical feminists that y'all refuse to fight put y'all in the position to have the money and the education. So now you got the money and the education. And now you deem 80% of men at the least unattractive and unappealing. Oops, you're bad. Have fun. Here's some boxing gloves and boxing shoes. Have fun fighting for the top 20% of dude. Whether he be black, white, Latino, Asian, indigenous, Middle Eastern, whoever. What happened? Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Super chat, excuse me. Right? So yeah, I want to say this. Shout out to the brother, the Raj Report. I'm going to extend a hand. I'm going to extend the olive branch. And I'm also going to chastise the women at the same time. You got to be held responsible for what you believe in. I agree with Raj 100%. But the women got played too. Your everyday woman, they knew what she was on. They knew she didn't hate men. They knew she didn't have contempt for men. And they put her in the position to do it, to be that person. Right? But we got to hold you accountable for believing in it, ladies. And the fact that most of you still ain't fighting it while you're unhappy and miserable. While you're unhappy and miserable. You're blaming the... Real talk with Yanni. Paris Milan, Chrissy, you're blaming the black men. Meanwhile, radical white and black feminists put you in this position. To earn more, to be more educated, and then to look at the men like, ugh. And they knew you were going to be on that. They knew. And that's why they did it. And now they're admitting it. Some of them admitted it in the past. That's what they wanted. But now they're openly admitting it. And instead of fighting them, you turn around and get angry at black men and say you're going to swirl and divest. To where? The white men that don't got it either? The Latinos who really don't got it either? That sisterhood. Well, that sisterhood is made out of, I don't know, bulletproof material, bomb-proof material. That his sisterhood is strong. Spademan said 2 on the 5-piece. I'm actually getting shish kebabs today. My lady's gonna bring shish kebabs. There's a restaurant not too far away. It's a restaurant made shish kebab. It's not like side of the street New York style shish kebabs. Hysterical, by the way. Right? And thanks for the super chat, Spain man. Spain man killed me 2 on the 5-piece. Right? So, and fried cheese. I'm getting fried cheese. Fried cheese is fire, low key. I'm gonna enjoy it now because, you know, side note, I know I gotta slow down on the cheese because I'm 36 and I heard 40 years old, you know, let's just say the doctor go digging. Ugh, uncomfortable. Just a thought, it makes me squeamish. So yeah. For all of my exers and my oldest of millennials, yeah. Is it true? Right? I've heard it from multiple like brothers over 40 years old, and I'm like, oh man. So I'm enjoying the last little bit of cheese I can before, you know, I gotta slow down because, you know, yeah, that part. Finger in the bunghole. Ugh. Right? Namer said, better go hard on your leafy greens is all I'll tell you. Right? But yeah, so, you know, it's truly sad. I like I said, I am one of those people that even when I know you as a, you know, you have a nephew or a niece and they're about to get that spanking and they low-key deserve it, but it's still, you know, you'd be like, damn, I hate to see it for you. Right? And that's my thing with a lot of the sisters. But, you know, the angry ones that's mad at men, no. We got played too. We ain't see it coming. Y'all got played worse and y'all mad at us. What? Man, if y'all don't go regulate those white and black feminists, how we know about the mission statement, what we stand for from BLM, and y'all don't know? No, y'all saw it too. Y'all read it too. FD, you saw it too, FD. And you know how I know? Because when you covered the divestment segment of your Black Manosphere commentary, you admitted that there was even more extreme stuff, but you don't want to show it because you don't want to put women, black women, in that light. You don't want us to think about them like that. So you admitted you're kind of covering up for them. A lot of people saw that BLM mission statement, what we stand for. And it was black men for the most part, and some racist white people, let's be honest. We know why they was talking about it like that. We're the only ones that spoke about it. Y'all ignored it until y'all found out BLM was stealing money. That's when everybody want to talk about other things and still ain't talk about that mission statement. The nameless protagonist said, how can accountability be realized? I don't know. Nameless, I don't know. If you got some ideas, brother, but brother, I listened to that Green Gorilla video and things I've been thinking since I was a child, legitimately, like my mother will tell y'all, like I've been on this since preschool. She don't know where I got this from. I've been talking about man-woman relations since I was like 4 years old. 4 and 5 years old. I am not joking. I promise you I'm not being hyperbolic on that one. And I didn't get it from my dad either. He wasn't speaking like that in front of me. Oh, Black Frank White says FD spoke to Bernard the other day. Really? I gotta go find that. And the nameless protagonist says, hi Theory Z, this is why I will continue to speak on it and warn. Yeah. And we need you to do that. Don't go monk mode. Don't disappear on us, nameless. But this is what I'm talking. Man, listening to Green Gorilla talk. Shout out to the first couple brothers, because like I told y'all, I'm about 70% in. The first couple brothers that called in, particularly the brother that called in, that said he works in finance, put in the numbers to it. Y'all know I love that. Y'all know that's all of, Mr. Z's wheelhouse. That's my type of talk, right? But let's be very clear. Like I said, the capitalists hitting you from the right, the feminists hitting you from the left, and they're shredding nuclear family. They're shredding nuclear family. Mr. Z, you seem so I think it might have been on the most recent channel that Raj lost, where I had a conversation with Hot Sauce, and Hot Sauce and me, it don't be contentious. The brother know way more than me, obviously, economics and all that business, Warren School of Business. So I don't even, I ain't even really trying to challenge him like that. But we had a little back and forth, and I told him, like, what did y'all expect? What you thought? So you thought capitalism wasn't gonna seep into family? Are you serious? You thought it was just going to be in finance and economics? You thought it was going to affect family formation? You thought the white elite capitalists were just going to leave you and your family alone? And it was only going to be business and work and labor? Oh no, nothing sacred, nothing. We will target your children with hyper-materialism and consumerism. We'll target your women with it. We'll tell them, if you don't got this type of money, if you're not living this type of lifestyle, shout out to Sweetie. If your man ain't buying you a Birkin, nothing sacred. Not the kids, not the women, not you, nothing. We're gonna hit your child with hyper-materialism the second they come out that womb. You know what? They're gonna be listening through the womb. And then the feminists are like, oh, and once that baby's born, or once that baby starts going to school, we got him. We're gonna start hitting them with the media on TV and now social media. And then once they start going to the Prussian school model, oh, we got them. So like I said, on the right, you're getting hit with this neoliberal form of capitalism, and then on the left, you're getting hit with feminism. Left, right. That's why my title is Left, Right. Hit them with the left, right. Shout out to the independent brothers. Y'all sounding smarter and smarter every day to me. Shout out to Dr. Thunder. Shout out to the Roger Report. Y'all making more and more sense every day. Right? Meanwhile, if at least the women were saying, the same women y'all claim to advocate for on the left, we're saying, you know, we're happy with this. Yeah, we're happy with this. We're happy with the non-binary stuff. We're happy with the softer men. Yeah, we're happy with the men that earn less than us, or at best earn as much as us, maybe just a smidge more. And at worst earn less than us, that's less educated than us. We're happy with this. We're happy with this. If the women were at least saying that, then maybe, even though it would be horrible, then maybe y'all would have a leg to stand on the left. The women ain't happy. They're not happy with the dynamics, Feek. T Noir, they're not. Nappy headed Jojoba, Julesy, Kim from Fort Harriet, they're not happy with it. And Kim, that's why you said what you said. I may not have the choice. I may not have all the choices, or may not have the choices I want, but I have the choice not to F with you. That's why you said that. And all the other stuff you were saying in that video, that's why you said it. Because at least unlike Chrissy, unlike Paris Malone, at least you were excuse me, honest enough to say, yeah, there ain't no silver bullet to this. You're just not gonna meet the mythical, magical white man. He's just gonna save you from the struggle. He probably don't exist. And you being a Harvard attendee, you already know they ain't checking. Shout out to Dr. Green Gorilla. Listening to that, I just was like, you know when you know, but then someone with a bit more gravitas, not even a bit more, but you know, and it is appeal to authority. Oh yeah, Mr. Z is all about his logical fallacies. Oh, screw that. Yeah, it is appeal to authority. Yes, it is. I stand on it. And what? Listening to Green Gorilla read the article, back it up with numbers, back it up with even what BLM said, back it up with what the feminists are saying. Oh yeah, Mr. Z felt vindicated. I'm late, by 2 weeks. I'm late. But oh yeah, and by the way, Nameless, I gotta go back and listen to all the stuff you and Green Gorilla and Sanddog. I'm late. I'm late. But yeah, I'm binge listening to a bunch of stuff I've missed from a couple of from Dr. Green Gorilla, Dr. T. Hassan Johnson. I try to keep up with Dr. Tommy Curry, but you know, I might miss things. Man, listen, I'm a YouTube junkie, y'all. I got a problem. So like, I'm missing. I have to like because you know you listen to so much that you're missing so much. It really it's a catch-22. You're listening to so much that you miss so much, and like I do use the internet to help feed my inner autodidact. I figure if I'm not going to school right now, I might as well use the internet for educational purposes. Definitely entertainment. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I scroll through Instagram and read the memes and watch the videos too. I'm subscribed to all the funny, dumb stuff y'all subscribe to. But to say I'm not watching documentaries, listening to lectures, up on game with my Richard Reeves, I stay, Richard Wolf. Right? But like I said, yeah, so this, excuse me, the left-right thing, yeah, y'all. Yeah. Whew, it's, like I said, listening to Green Gorilla speak, coming with the facts, coming with the receipts, like the ladies say, like the black women say, right? And the, like I said the names. Now what, y'all? Now, to all the from the swirlers and divestors all the way to the black feminist advocates or black women empowerment advocates, what y'all gotta say now? What do y'all have to say now? The same women y'all claim to advocate for are unhappy and miserable because they don't have a man. I want to say because y'all really don't want to say Kim. That's one of the main reasons Kim was mad at Brittany Renner. Stop talking like men are the center of your universe. That's slave talk, Brittany. Stop talking like you care what men think. We're not supposed to care what men think, Brittany. You making us look bad. You're embarrassing us, Brittany. Why don't you go back to insulting the men to their face, Brittany? We're supposed to be stronger than that, Brittany. You're making the sisterhood look bad. That's what she was really saying. I thought for a second you looked like you were going to be an ally. The pretty girl ally, Brittany. That's what Kim was really saying. Meanwhile, in Kim's comment sections for certain videos, in Khadijah's comment section for certain videos, our sisters telling you they're 25, 30 something, 37. Ain't never been in no relationship, never had sex. They're not interested in women, Khadijah. They don't want to be queer, Khadijah. They're socially awkward, Khadijah. They've been listening to women like you their entire life, Khadijah. Kim, Chrissy, Paris. They want men. They just don't know how to get them and keep them. Kim over here, excuse me, Kim over here, it's not an accomplishment to get a man. Clearly, for the women in your comment section, maybe. If they thought a little differently, they would have when it wouldn't be miserable. Because read your comments, Kim. Read your comments, Kim. Your own comments in your own comment section. You seeing a therapist. Ooh, all right. As evidenced by the therapist that was speaking crazy to black men. Ugh. I mean, ladies, the world sees you. Black men don't even got to say anything. We don't. We are saying stuff. I'm glad we are. But we don't have to. The world sees you. The world sees therapists talking crazy to black men. Other black women trying to justify it. Shout out to Vivica A. Fox. Why can't she be verbally abusive? What's wrong with her being condescending to these men? The men do it. Why can't she do it? Where's 50 Cent again? Oh, well, damn, Mr. Z. Shout out to Corey Holcomb. So we have the chattering class on YouTube of black intellectuals advocating for things that they theorize will be beneficial for black women in mass. And the evidence is out, and they're more unhappy now than they were 50 years ago. Go figure. Thank you, Truth Is I Know. Truth Is I Know, it said the game is over and you won. The lights are off. Please leave the building. Truth Is I Know it. I said that on Dr. T. Hassan Johnson. And for those of y'all that remember, I said that on Dr. T. Hassan Johnson's channel maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Ladies, y'all won. Y'all got what y'all wanted. You won. You won the gender war. Now what? Bittersweet victory, ain't it? You won. I know a lot of brothers say, no, we won the gender war recently, blah, blah. There's a reason why I'm saying what I'm saying. Follow my logic. You won, ladies. You won. Yeah, y'all may not make as much as a collective as men yet. There's reasons for that, but okay, granted. Let's say everything you say, you're right. You don't earn enough yet, but okay. You're rising in parity with positions. You're rising in parity with money. You already got the education over us. Cool. And look how unhappy you are. Fighting for that top 20% and only seeing them. Doesn't feel that great now, does it? Feeling like you settled when you with the dude on your level makes no sense, but okay. Doesn't feel that great now, does it? Ladies, you got to be held responsible for what, you got to be held responsible for what you believe in. For what you advocate for. And for what you don't fight against. That part too. You don't want to fight the feminist sisterhood. Okay, deal with the consequences. Deal with the consequences. They're telling you. The right's telling you, we will shred you with our capitalism and just give you religion and morality to mitigate, respectability to mitigate. We're going to hit you with a $21 trillion economy, and we're going to give you religion, respectability, striverism to mitigate. And then on the left, we're going to hit you with intersectionality, feminism, non-binary talk, ever-changing vocabulary every single day. And we'll mitigate that with some class talk on the fringes. And some big tent, big picture talk on the fringes. And this works for black people? Not at all. Right. All right, Namer. We'll chop it up. Check my email. Excuse me, y'all. So this is where we are. That's another phrase I use a lot. This is where we are. Right? But truly, this is where we are. Left and right taking turns, putting the foot up your rear end. Right? Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. This is not going to work for black people, y'all. It's not working. It hasn't worked. It's not going to work. And once again, shout out to Green Gorilla for bringing this to us. Like I said, I'm 70% through. The two brothers that called in initially, shout out to y'all for y'all insight. Mr. Z has been saying it from the jump too for the finance brother. Yeah, Americans don't know money. Black people don't know money. Black women don't know money. They don't know what they're talking about. Shout out to the brother, the Roger Report, who said it. They're not even, they're saying six figures because they don't know money, but they don't want six figures. They really want $1 million lifestyle. Because $100,000 ain't getting you what they're talking about. And I know that's somewhat of where Jason Black was going with one of his more recent streams. But that ain't going to work neither. Trying to scare them into earning some $250,000, $350,000, $500,000 a year. Brother Jason, that ain't going to work neither. That dog don't hunt. What's going on, Trell? Trell says, Z with the double duty. You already know. I should be in the shower right now, trying to go to sleep after I jump out the shower. That's what I should be doing right now. Because I've worked in a few hours. Yes, from one job to the other job. AL Evans said it don't hunt. AL, that dog don't hunt. Trying to scare the men into being Uber providers. And that's the only way the women will respect them and stay around. That dog don't hunt. Well, if you don't earn $350,000 a year so you can have a wife and 2 kids, then you get what you get. And if that means you don't have a family, then so be it. That dog don't hunt. What percent of men in general in America earn that a year? Come on. So once again, the neoliberal capitalism on the right, which the left adopted too. So I'm saying it's on the right, but the left adopted it too. That's where you get the third way and Bill Clinton and all that other stuff. And let's be honest, the seeds of it, well, the seeds of it are way back old, right? But kind of the neoliberal, that's this kind of second wave, started with under Carter's administration. So let's not forget that. Let's, it just really got its legs under it with Reagan. So when people ask what are the solutions, Mr. Z, you be sounding so depressing. You be talking all this talk. What are the solutions? You got to go after the right and the left at the same time. You got to tell both of them to kick rocks at the same time. You got to put the truth in everybody's face all the time. You got to tell the women of this is, you believe in this, so hey, this is the consequences. This is what you believe. You're literally living the consequences of what you believe. You wanted the jobs, you wanted the education, you wanted the money. You got it. You don't even got it. Supposedly, you don't even got as much as the men do, and you're already miserable as hell. What's going to happen when, okay, snap, crackle, women earn more than men? What y'all going to do then? Oh, the masses of women earn more than men. From the second we start working at 18 or 17 or 16, all the way to death. What are y'all going to do then? Huh. You buy into hyper-materialism, and it makes you depressed because you can't buy you can't buy the material that you want. You can't live that life. Then on the flip side, you bought into second wave feminism, third wave feminism, which is not about women being able to vote and work and participate legally and politically and socially on par with men. It's more a power game over men. Shout out to the radical feminists who ideology leaked into feminism and then leaked into just everyday women. So you bought into that, and now you're miserable, and your daughters are miserable. Go figure. Victor said, my question is, where are all these $250,000 jobs at? I think you said WS, I think white supremacist, I think you're trying to say, doesn't follow. Exactly. Look, from my understanding, what is it like? Because I think the brother said like 7 million something people are like top 1%ers or 0.1%ers or something like that. No, I'm sorry. He said like 1,600 and something are top 1%ers at a certain level. This country got like 330 some odd million people. Black people, black people in general, but Americans in general, black people in general, then black women specific, be talking about millionaires and billionaires like it's a zillion of them. What America got, like 700 billionaires? On the planet, there's some 2,800-ish billionaires. But we talk about billionaires like there's, okay, let's say there's 3,000. Let's say we're going to count the people that's in illicit activity that are billionaires. Let's double the billionaire list from 2,800 to 6,000. Let's go there with it. That still is nothing on a planet with 8 billion people. We talk about money so ignorantly. It's whimsical. It's comical. It's comical how we talk about money. And that I do think, I don't actually blame the women on that. I think that's a product of the elite. For those of you that remember when I covered the segment from Wisecrack, speaking about Malcolm in the Middle and how they purposely targeted women and girls, young people in general, but particularly women and girls with like this lifestyle advertisement since they were kids, and showing upper middle class and rich lifestyle like it was middle class. Those girls are women now. They're our age for some of us younger Xers and millennials, and some of you are the oldest of Gen Z. Those girls are women now. They're the ones we're going on dates with and sound delusional. Those are the ones that are telling better you 27 making 70 grand a year, you ain't make enough. You're not trying hard enough. You okay with that? Those are the ones that we're calling into Kevin Samuel's show, talking about their 20-something-year-old boyfriend making $75,000 a year and how that's not enough money. Right. Now, Trell says 6,000 in a country of approximately 23 million black women. Never mind white women, Asian, and so forth. No, when I'm saying the billionaires, that was globally. So in America, it's 700 and some odd billionaires, right? 700. Let's double it and say it's 1,400. So that would be 1,400 billionaires in America in a country of 330 million. So it still wouldn't, the math still don't math. It's even worse than what you were saying. But on the planet, it's 2,800 billionaires. Last time I checked, it's like 2,800 billionaires. If we more than double it to 6,000 billionaires on the planet, that's still on a planet of 8 billion people. Thank you, Trell. Ooh, so Trell, I always wanted to know those numbers. I never looked them up, but thank you. So Trell said 450 NBA players, 750 NFL players. Do you and this is a product, this is like a leftover of Nixon selling black people on capitalism and hopeism, where you overemphasize the black people that are successful, the black people with money, because you want to give black people something to aspire to. So like there's a slight positive to it, but the negative, the insidious calculated part of it is that you then sell black people on like these athletes, these entertainers, some of your black politicians with some influence, not so much power, but influence, and you make it seem like there's way more black people in those positions than there actually are. I remember saying something, because I didn't know the numbers, but I remember saying one time, if you take all the notable black actors, and you take all the notable black politicians, and you take all the notable black athletes, do you still even get to 10, maybe 20? Okay, let's say you get to 10,000. Do you even get to 20,000 black people? If we think about all the actors over the past, let's say 40 years, all the notable athletes, name them. Do you even get to 20,000? And yet black people in mass are living vicariously through at most maybe 20,000 people when there's over 20 million of us. And these people love lives. We living vicariously through them. That's why black women be getting mad when these black athletes be piping white girls, white women. Y'all so hyper, and that's by the way, that was done on purpose, but it's up to us what we believe in. Shout out to the Roger Report. So we hyper focus on the handful of black people with this extravagant wealth and fame and influence. I don't know about power. And then we beat up on each other because of what Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion had going on. Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey got going on, or Future got going on, or Sierra and Future and Russell Wilson got going on. The super small circle of black people with some money in this society. Meanwhile, your feminists, your black feminists, use that to anger the women even more, black women even more. See, you see these black men with the money, you see what they doing? They talking black and sleeping white. Never mind that I'm with the non-black man. Oops. Never mind that I'm with a non-black woman. Ugh. Never mind that I'm a hypocrite. Never mind, I didn't want y'all to be with them Negroes anyway. Thank you, Spain man. Exactly. Girl, you see Lori can dump Michael B. Jordan. You can do the same thing. Yeah, it sounds nice. Theory without the practical, like I said. Theory versus practical. Yeah, that sounds nice. We are watching black women loot. What is it? The rise in black women homelessness? And all Kim can do is chastise black men and talk about having the government investigate passport bros. Not advocate for nuclear family, no. Chastise Brittany Renner for speaking about accountability and staying fit and not being bitter. Huh. Black women becoming more and more homeless. How many black women in their 20s and 30s living at home with their parents, their mother? Once every couple months, their mother threatened to kick them out. Whether it's because she messing up or whether it's because the mother's just... Y'all already know. Low-key jealous that you got a man that cares. Oops. But Kim don't talk about that now, does she? Nope. Chrissy don't talk about that now, does she? Nope. Because for them, the answer and the solution is go get you the mythical, magical white man. Or non-black man. Don't shore up black nuclear families with average black men that, yeah, they may not be balling, but they still could save your ass. That's what I was saying, Trell. And Trell said, mom's mad, nobody coming to pipe her. Exactly. Right? This is weird, y'all. This is some weirdo stuff. On the right, the capitalism. On the left, the feminism, shredding family, and all of these talking heads, these YouTube chattering class. I kind of stole that from Glenn Ford, by the way. He didn't say YouTube. He called it Black chattering class, I think he called it. Rest in peace, Glenn Ford. Black Agenda Report, y'all. I'm so mad that Chris Hedges RT stuff got taken down, excuse me, because there were 2 Glenn Ford interviews that were fire. Absolute fire. Oh, y'all ain't know Mr. Z know about Glenn Ford? I told y'all Mr. Z all over these streets. And thank you for the super sticker, Kenyatta. I think I pronounced it right this time. Maybe no. Okay, maybe not. You see, my voice went low a little bit. I wasn't confident. Right. Mr. Z all over these YouTube streets. And by the way, Pascal Robert is a protege of Glenn Ford also. Right? Who's Glenn Ford? Glenn Ford was one of the first people to call out Barack Obama. He knew Barack Obama wasn't gonna be from the jump. Super light skinned, borderline racially ambiguous, brother. Low key, you might have thought he was white. But from my understanding, you know, he was on this. He pretty much picked up the mission his father was on before. And, you know, one of the brothers that's like a cynic, but not in a bad way. Right? Usually the fly in the ointment, Dr. Doom, but not in a bad way, and he's pretty much almost always right. Right? I'm okay with people that say depressing stuff, clearly. But are you right though? Are you selling hopeism? Shout out to Chrissy. Are you selling hopeism and silver bullet? Like Real Talk with Yanni and Paris Milan and Chrissy. Just get away from those black men. Open your options. Like I keep on saying, to the same white dudes that don't got it either, but okay. Not that Glenn Ford. Telescope. Shout out to Telescope. He said Glenn Ford is the name of a popular 1950s white man actor. Right? Like I said, my political understanding, my social understanding, that's why y'all see I'm in this space. I'm a black man born and raised in America. Where would I be without intelligent, educated, powerful black women? But angry, bitter, feminist black women that manipulated y'all and moved y'all right on out of your own seat. Oh, they saw that. It was like, yeah, these women ain't gonna move from men. We gotta make them move from men. Give them indoctrination, education. Give them some middle management jobs and some middle management titles. Bada bing, bada boom. Magic. Right? Then on the capitalism side, it's like, yeah, we're gonna strip them of everything, but we could sell them on hopeism, and you too can be rich like me. Thank you. Glenn Ford with the 2 N's was an American actor. Glenn Ford with 1 N is the late founder of the Black Agenda Report. And thank you, DJ. DJ B-Side 1965. Thank you, brother. I mean, Trell Bentley said bitter bitches. But no, when you get a chance, I think it's still up on YouTube. If y'all want to check it out, because I know Toya checked out the whole documentary when I put out the segment over a year ago, maybe now. The documentary still might be on YouTube, and it's called Angry Women's. And you'll see the little BBC thumbnail on the bottom, I think, or maybe on the top. But yeah, you'll see the BBC thumbnail. It's not no, in your closet made documentary, no, like a real BBC produced documentary. And the people that were part of the movement were talking, and they just was spilling. What the sisters say? They were just spilling the tea. They were just saying it straight up. Also, look up terms like political lesbianism. They just straight up say it. They straight up say what they advocate for, their victories, their ideology. They straight up say it. So that's why when Real Talk with Yanni want to blame black Jim Crow, the black men that fought against Jim Crow and the civil rights movement, I'm like, you just find any kind of way to be a black man, it's your fault. How about the black feminists going along with the white feminists and screwing over black women? Your everyday black woman, how about that one? No, that ain't happen, right? I'm telling y'all, like, you know, so, I just wanted to say a little bit on that. Shout out to Dr. Green Gorilla. I'm like I said, I'm gonna put the link in the description after the video. Y'all check it out. It's a bit long, but Green Gorilla is entertaining, and he's engaging, and he give you the information. The two brothers so far that called in were really good so far. Shout out to the brother that came in with the numbers, the finance stuff. Y'all know I love that type of stuff. And yeah, capitalism on one side, feminism on the other side, just tag teaming all of us, all Americans, frankly. Don't care about the nuclear family. We're going to make money off of you coming and going. It don't matter. And for the feminists, we don't care if the everyday woman is miserable now. She'll understand what we're doing in a couple decades. This is for her own good. Y'all so hyper-focused on the power dynamic, you don't realize how miserable the women are going through your experiment. They're living your experiment and they're miserable. Your everyday 40, 50, 30,000, $20,000 a year woman, $60,000 a year woman is unhappy with her love life, with her relationship life, with her sex life. Maybe not less on her sex life. She might be having fun there. And y'all answers are, it's because the men ain't ish. And for black women specifically, it's because the men are colorists and featurists and texturists. And they don't want to build and da-da-da. And they worried about their preference and white women. And no. Your ideology. This is where Kim from Fort Harriet coming. Kim, your ideology. Khadijah, your ideology. This is y'all. This is y'all before y'all were even born. This is your ideology. Kicking women right in the rear end. The same women you claim to advocate for. Non-binary. Okay. So hyper-focused on Brittany Renner, given with a moment of honesty, excuse me, instead of being honest that you too, Miss Kim Foster, are bitter. No, not used to be bitter, still bitter. And just because you hide behind $1 million words and 4 and 5 syllables and your education at Harvard and your class position and philosophers and black feminists doesn't mean behind you or underneath all that, better yet, is not a trembling, terrified, bitter, angry, temper tantrum throwing, petulant 7-year-old child. Yeah, you're 34 and your emotional development is 7. You're a petulant child hiding behind your education and your vocabulary. It's not cute. And yes, you're still bitter. Telescope shout out, right? 34 going on 7. And yes, it's clear as day. Voices for black women, right? What type of black women? Because clearly you're calling Brittany Renner a pick-me for not going along with your worldview. Right? Because she ain't continuing on what you were on. Now she a pick-me. And Trell Bentley says, I was watching a clip yesterday of a black man who was riding a bike, hit a car, and threw a tantrum in the middle of the street. I saw that. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. If you could put the link in the comments later. But I did see a video of a young man and I guess his overweight black baby mama arguing, and she got on a bike, like a pedal bike, rode off, hit a car, hit a parked car, and oh, you said baby mama. Are we talking about the? Oh, so we are talking about the same video. Yep. So we're talking about the same video. She hit the car and then she started throwing a temper tantrum on the ground. That's the one. That's the one. Yeah. Yep. That's the one. That's the one. I saw it. I saw that video too. So for those of you that don't know the video me and Shell are talking about, a young lady arguing back and forth, her baby daddy recording her. She jumped on a pedal bike, started riding kind of weird, hit a parked car, fell off the bike, and started throwing a temper tantrum on the ground while the baby daddy was recording. There's a lot of unwell people in this country. We already know it. A lot of unwell black men, a lot of unwell, but particularly black women, whether they're educated or not. And these particular people often get to hide behind, like I was saying earlier, political movements, social movements, hide behind some type of talk about patriarchy, when really they're just angry, bitter people, or they had some childhood trauma from rejection or young adulthood trauma, trauma in their adolescence. Right? And they're throwing tantrums on the internet. When Kim made that video, I have the choice or the options not to F with you. That's what it was. Just because she was flailing about and she was using her words as she was educated and trained to do does not mean she wasn't throwing a temper tantrum. She was throwing a temper tantrum. Spain man, thank you. Never grew out of their childhood princess phase. Y'all remember the video I made about Real Talk with Yanni? The thumbnail, it's in my lives, in my history of lives, and the thumbnail actually has her face on it. Where she said it, essentially, she's raging war on all of us brothers. I needed a hug when I was chubby, and I need this. You know who needed a hug? 16-year-old me. You know he needed a hug? Chubby, whatever, early 20s or whatever me. So the whole world, particularly black men, got to feel your rage because some dudes wasn't checking for you when you were 16? Y'all remember, for those of you that remember Mr. Z way back, I walked in the door telling y'all, these women are not mad about being 22 years old and a boyfriend bringing their car back with no gas. No, they're mad about who didn't want them when they were 16. They're mad about who didn't want them when they were 21 in college, or feeling insecure about their looks when they were 16 and 17. These people are all of 28, 30, 32, 35, 39. Still talking about who wasn't attracted to them and who was checking for who when we were 16 and 17 years old, y'all. And so every black man got to feel their wrath for what a black boy wasn't interested in 20 years ago. "22 years ago, you 38, still talking about who wasn't checking for you when you were 16, 22 years ago. And then you hide that behind feminism. And so fast forward 50 years later, and the women you claim, the Kims before Kim, the Oprahs of the world, black men got to feel their wrath when they bring in all these feminists on their show, because who wasn't checking for you, or who you had got pregnant by when you were a teenager, or when you were in your early 20s. So once again, the capitalists hitting us, because the capitalists are just trying to protect their class position and their wealth position. That's what all of this is about. Ben Shapiro pretty much spilled the beans on the when he was debating Ezra Klein. That's why Jordan Peterson keep on talking about hierarchies. Listen, don't just listen to him say hierarchy. Listen to how he speaks about hierarchy. And then remember, you're talking to a white man. It's all about protecting their class position, their position as white men, their wealth, their prestige as white men. So you got the bitter, angry feminists on the left. You got the racist white men on the right. And the ones of us that sandwich in the middle. Y'all go back and watch that Rush Limbaugh interview on The Breakfast Club, where he pretty much said, well, black people vote left. I'm paraphrasing. So you get what you get. Yeah, I know. Yeah, racism is real. I'm paraphrasing. But essentially he was saying, yeah, I know all of that. Yeah, y'all right about that. And I'm waging a culture war against the left, and y'all vote to left. Instead of voting what? Right on the racist, well, both of them are racist, so I don't even know what I'm saying right there. But with the drooling at the mouth, Steve King racist. So leave this racist side and go to that racist side. You spent your entire career poking at black people. So we need to stop voting on this racist side and vote on that racist side. Oh, that's funny, Toya. Oh, shout out to Toya for the super chat. And Toya says feminism, all the PH without the D. Oh, Toya, that's hysterical. And if I'm interpreting this correctly, all the smell without the right? Without the eggplant. all the stench without the eggplant. Toya, that's hysterical. Oh, that's funny. That's hysterical. Oh, nerd humor, y'all. Nerd humor. That's hysterical, Toya. Oh, man. But for real, though. And it sucks to go back to, like, talking about black women on this caricature, the black feminists on this caricature. Oh, angry black feminists. Right? I'm not trying to do that, but that's what it is. That's what it is. Oh, I wasn't trying to be that person. Black angry feminists, the ugly ones. Look at them. They're not pretty. They're angry black feminists. I don't want to be that person, but especially after how Kim went at Brittany Renner. I'm sorry. Yeah, the way Kim went at Brittany Renner, it's hard to argue otherwise. Kim, you made it hard to argue, and you called her a pick-me? Oh, Kim, you made it hard to argue otherwise. You had to know how that looked. Okay, you got your own subscribers. Cool, Kim. Your subscribers, we already know how they think. Cool. You had to know how that looks to everybody that doesn't occupy that political ideology you occupy. You had to know how that looked, Kim. And nobody would accuse Mr. Z of being a colorist. Nobody. But Kim, you had to know how that looked. Both of y'all are around the same age. Brittany Renner, some taller than you, but kind of slim, light-skinned, attractive, air quotes, our preference, black woman, mixed black woman, and then the more browner skin, okay looking, you know, some people say different, I ain't gonna go into that, but okay looking, more educated, Africana studies, black woman, calling her a pick-me. Calling Brittany Renner, the light-skinned mixed, air quotes, preference, a pick-me, because the pick-me is talking about accountability, staying fit, not being bitter. There's Kim, if there, how, you walked into the stereotype. You walked right into the angry, bitter, unattractive, dark-skinned black woman stereotype. You walked right into it. The overly educated, angry, unattractive black woman who's only on what she's on because she ain't chose. And then you say, even what you said, even what you said, it ain't nothing to get it, man. That's not an accomplishment. You making this look bad. You making this look bad. Oh my God. You, boy, y'all PR campaign is horrible, bruh. Jesus Christ. No wonder one of the brothers chastised me a few months ago. Mr. Z, you campaigning for them? But I'm telling y'all, I could tell them exactly. They ain't listening. Even if they listening, they not listening. Y'all PR is horrible. And shout out to KW Dawn. What's going on, KW? Thanks for the super chat. He said the objective of white women collectively is to, white men. The objective of white men collectively is to freeze the world as he stole it. Okay, fire. Thank you. Fire. Fire. Thank you. Exactly. Come on, Kim, you had to know. Bro, it's scary that this Harvard attendee, upper middle class, rubbing elbows. From my understanding, she even be getting contracted to go give lectures and stuff like that. Kim, there is no way you didn't stop for half a second and think, I am literally the walking stereotype these men are talking about, at least in this moment. Now, you could have started and then said it anyway. Okay, that's cool. But there's no way you didn't stop for half a second and think, I am coming off as the angry, bitter, unattractive, educated, feminist woman hating on the pretty chick who's the preference. There's no way you didn't think that. And if you didn't, Kim. And the things you said, you called her a pick-me. You pretty much admitted you was getting off on watching her go around checking dudes, black men. Let's call a thing a thing. Oh, no link. I'm not using StreamYards, unfortunately. And Onal said, let me get the link real quick, Z. No link, unfortunately. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. right? Jesus Christ, the PR, and this is why y'all got middle-aged white dudes, researchers like Richard Reeves calling y'all out. Y'all too loud. I made a video how long ago saying y'all too loud. Y'all are loud. Y'all are loud. Oh, y'all loud. You got people from Richard Reeves all the way to Rollo Tomasi being like, Jesus. So Richard Reeves calling out Kimberly Crenshaw and Rollo Tomasi calling out the low-key kind of called out the divestors and swirlers and all of just regular black women dancing on Kevin Samuel's grave. Y'all are loud. Ooh, y'all loud. And these are white men, by the way. Okay, G, what's going on, G? So you got the capitalists. They pretty much feel like they won, so they loud as well. They're increasingly getting loud. They're getting loud. Then you got the black feminists and black women advocates, so they call themselves. When obviously they really don't care about black women empowerment. They really just want to use your everyday black woman as a weapon against black men. And they don't care how it actually hurts your everyday black woman to be lonely, single with no man. How many black women are virgins at a young age and they rather not be, or are not in a relationship, or being celibate? Let me say this to every black woman. These women with their agenda, they're willing to watch y'all take L's for their agenda. They're willing to watch y'all take L's for their agenda. They're willing to watch you be single and miserable. They're willing to watch you not have family, not have children, not have heterosexual, intimate, real love. They're willing to what for their agenda, their YouTube and social media money and notoriety. They are willing to watch you take L's while they feign like they care about you. That's hysterical, Trell. Trell said, if she's celibate, then I'll buy a bit. Oh, y'all are being comedians today. Oh, hysterical. Hysterical. Metaphors and similes and double entendres just flying all over the place. Oh, y'all are hysterical. And this starts our nerd comedy section of today. No, oh, man. Come on. And what's funny is if you put Kimberly Crenshaw and Tucker Carlson or Kimberly Crenshaw and Ben Shapiro in the same room, they would rip each other's head off. But yet, what y'all advocate for is screwing over, well, definitely screwing over black people, black men in particular. But for black women, for these type of people, it's even screwing over the same women you claim to care about. And for the white guys, it's screwing over the same white guys you claim to care about. But you white elite, you always knew it. So did you black women always know it? I think you did. I think y'all don't care. I think the goal was we're going to move women, black women in specific for this conversation, away from black men, and we don't care if it hurts them. They'll get it later. Like, it's like how you speak to a child. Yeah, you don't understand now, you'll understand later. As evidenced by how Kim was talking. over the past few videos that she's made, in particular her one going at Brittany Renner, you launched the first punch at Brittany Renner by calling her a pick-me because you felt slighted. Because she talked about maintaining your physique, not being a bitter broad, and broad ain't the word I want to use, and being accountable. And you took that as an attack on you. Boy, y'all got problems. So yeah, you know, let's kind of close this out. But shout out to Green Gorilla. Green Gorilla, brother, and this is why you got a PhD. I'm a PhD. This is why you got a PhD, brother. Masterful. Like I said, shout out to the two brothers, the first two brothers that called it. I'm gonna listen to the rest of this, hopefully before I go to sleep. Shout out to me and no sleep. It's so unhealthy, y'all. I'm telling y'all. Don't do this at home. All right. But shout out to Green Gorilla for bringing the receipts. Capitalism coming from the right, or liberalism coming from the right. Economic liberalism when we say liberalism, right? And then feminism coming from the left and just tag teaming us. Right? GC says 7 hours minimum, Z. GC, if I tell you how much sleep I actually get on a daily basis, I think Toya would find a way to call my lady and they would tag team me. Because my lady be on me about it. My mom be on me. I don't sleep, bro, because it's like, you know. My younger sister is over it. See, like, look at Toya. Toya put the mad face, for real. My younger sister is over talking to me about my sleep, like, bruh. You know. Because, like, I've actually been doing more than average. I told y'all, you know, I tend to work 65 hours a week. But over the past couple weeks, it's more like 73 hours a week. Right? And that's why I laugh at people that talk about work hard, bruh. But we're working on transitioning. Because I was gonna say we're transitioning, we're not. We're working on transitioning from the work harder or work smarter but not harder. So we got some things in the works, y'all. We got some things in the works. All right. So this is not, you know, for the foreseeable future, maybe, but this is not indefinite, right? This is not indefinite. Even my dad has gotten on me about it. So, yeah. You know, his heavy accent pretty much telling me, you know, you can't do this forever, right? Like, I know. Right. When I told him I was picking up a second job, he was like, ah. And how in many hours it was going to be, he was like, ah. Right. And I was like, you're one to talk. Right? Mr. Shook to you said 20s and 30s ain't meant for sleeping. Thank you. Right? But yeah, y'all, so you know, let's, you know, like I said, let's get our closing done. Shout out to Green Gorilla, masterful job. I'm probably gonna listen to another time, at least another time. Like I said, shout out to the brother Nameless. I want to go back and listen to the videos of him and Sand Dog and Green Gorilla. You know, I'm late to a lot of stuff. I gotta double back and go listen to a lot of stuff. You know, yeah, man. right? And you know, like he was saying, the feminists said it, so there you go. And I really wanted to say that to Yanni and Paris and Chrissy. No, not black men, white women and black women. White feminists and black feminists. They knew y'all wasn't moving from men's side. Y'all got y'all issues with men, but y'all wasn't budging. And so they said, we're going to make them budge. The men won't move. We can't make them move. We'll make the women move. We'll talk about women empowerment, put them in school. Not only will we elevate them, I want to stress this, we won't only elevate them, we'll actively be attacking the men's position and the men's foundation at the same time. I should have said that in the beginning. Damn. We will actively be attacking the men's position as we're elevating the women. And we will make the women not be attracted to the men. Or not find the men appealing, better yet. The masses of men. And the black community was the first to fall, and the Latinos and the white folks are not too far behind, and the Asians don't think, if you're in America, the Asians will fall eventually too. The East and the South Asians. Don't think they're immune to this just because you see them lasting a little bit longer. Don't worry. I remember saying that to an Asian woman online years ago. Gotta be 6-7 years ago. I remember saying that to a coworker in the Democratic Party. Y'all Asians think y'all bulletproof? All right, watch. Trump won the election and she told me I was right. She was a really cool person, so I didn't want to be arrogant and be like, I know I was right. I didn't say it, but I thought it. Right? So I'll truly pause right there. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Yeah, y'all. This is what it is, man. And we're here now. So now that we got the documentation of them admitting it, and that's old. I'm not saying anything new. I feel vindicated. I'm not gonna lie. I feel vindicated for some of you conservative brothers. I'll be going at the left because I'm in the left. So you know. So for those of you right-leaning brothers who think, oh, Mr. Z, you cape for the left, you can ask anybody that listen to me. Not really. I go in on the left to the point where you might not think I'm lefty. I'm a lefty. But I stand on principle. I'm not a party person like that. That's why I was able to work for the Democratic Party and still not vote for Hillary Clinton. Couldn't do it. Guy in the booth couldn't do it. Didn't vote for Joe Biden either. Not Jim Crow Joe. Not 94 crime bill. Couldn't do it. Not Mr. Credit Card. Nope. Not Mr. War on drugs while my son is a whole crackhead. Nope. And sleeping with his dead brother's widow. Ugh. Oh, sorry. Leave his wife for his dead brother's widow. Leave the widow for some 20-something a woman half his age. I know in the manosphere we got our own conversation about that, but bruh. So I'll truly pause right there, y'all. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Y'all check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. Like I said, I'm going to put Green Gorilla's video in the description. Y'all check it out. Yeah, man, this capitalism on one side, feminism on the other side, tag team. Right? For those of you that, Mr. Z, why you keep on railing against capitalism? Yeah, there's some pluses. I will never say there's not pluses. I like going down the cereal aisle and there's 1 billion different types of cereal, even though there's only like 4 or 5 parent companies. Right? I like that. But on the other hand, everything gets commodified. Everything has a price tag. Even your love life. I'm just saying. That's hysterical. DJ B-side said peace, and Kareen said and niece. Like I said, excuse me, nerd comedy. And on that note, all right, y'all have a great day. That was funny. Funny, hysterical. All right, y'all, I'm out.